Hello, welcome to the first live session. Most of the grading will be done on Monday following the Sunday due date. I will try to grade assignments as they come in, but the discussions have to be completed after the week is completed. Late work can be accepted with a late penalty unless you contact me in advance or in case of an illness or emergency soon after the event. No discussion posts will be accepted after a week is complete unless you have contacted me and have a valid excuse for being late. Corrections may be made to assignments, but not to the week 1 quiz or to the midterm. I will post feedback when I grade assignments, and that will help you with making corrections. Keeping up is very important on an online class. It can quickly become unmanageable when you let things get behind. I would advise that you set a time aside for when to work on the class each week. Don't leave everything till Sunday because you will find yourself without internet or computer crashes, power outages. Attendance and participation are very important, and just logging in does not count as either. You must post to an assignment, discussion, or take a quiz to actually participate in the class and be considered to have attendance. You're responsible for knowing when things are due, but I will try and post reminders in the announcements each week. Please read the announcement carefully and follow the directions. View the rubric to see how an assignment is graded. Check your grades often to see if you're missing anything. For the discussion, you want to create a new thread for the initial response. Remember, the initial response to the discussion topic is due by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Initial responses must be at least 100 words and contain at least one APA formatted reference. Do not forget to use in-text citation to indicate what information came from the references you're citing. Initial posts must address the discussion topic for each week. You're required to make 3 replies to other posts, and those are due by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. However, you're supposed to post over 3 days. So if you wait until Sunday to do your 3 other posts, then you will lose points for not meeting that requirement. Most discussions are worth 50 points except for week 7 and week 8. Remember, no discussions posts are allowed after the week is done unless you've contacted me. So what makes a good discussion post or response to other posts? Thorough use of key terms and concepts, incorporating textbook and other academic or professional resources, real-life experiences if they're related, demonstrating analytic and cognitive thinking, thorough use of current events if applicable, use of correct spelling, grammar, punctuation, that sort of thing. APA references, check the HUA tip sheet found in the library under formatting and citation. On page 3 of the APA tip sheet you'll find the reference for a textbook, and on page 6 for a website. References should be at the bottom of the post. I've kind of done an example here. So I have my references. I have 3, and then for each paragraph I've identified which came from that. You don't have to have that many. You're only required to have 1. And you should have some information that actually comes from you. And then in-text citation is used to indicate the information that you're citing. And it depends on what you're citing. For instance, if you're citing a textbook or a website that has an author, you use author then year. If there's no author listed, then you would use the title of the page and then the year. If no year is listed, then you would use ND. Week 1 assignment is a scavenger hunt. You need to download the scavenger hunt worksheet and then look in your textbook, locate the answers, fill it in and save it, and then submit that document. I have a picture here of some of the computer hardware that the book talks about. You may have some of this stuff depending on what kind of computer you have. If you have a laptop, you won't have a lot of this equipment. Computers perform 4 basic operations: input, process, output, and storage. So when we're talking about storage, we mean like the hard drive, flash memory, a thumb drive, something like that. Input comes from a keyboard, mouse. Processing is done on the motherboard by the CPU. Output would be to a printer or to the screen, something in that nature. So in our discussion, we're talking about software, system software and application software, and you're to talk about the differences between the two, and I just have a few things listed here. Things to review for the midterm: know the difference between a desktop and laptop computer, what components are typical in each and which is best according to the book. Difference between a stylus, a mouse, and a keyboard. Difference between a CD-ROM, CDR-W, BD-ROM, and a USB. What's an insertion point? Difference between operating system, presentation software, word processing program, and a spreadsheet program. What are some computer input devices? What is a kilobyte and what does it equal? What's the ribbon and what are the tabs of the ribbon? What are the most popular type of monitor between a CTR and an LCD? And that's all I have for this session. I know it was a little bit short. In the actual presentation, I would expect, if anyone attended, to have some questions. So this is just a little bit of a preview of that presentation.